live here from Sonoma Raceway in wine country. This is the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series for the first road course race of the season. I'm Josh Coppernoll. Joining me in the booth is Brett Bennett. Brett, how are you doing?
I am doing great. Looking forward to some road course racing here today. I don't think we've seen Sonoma very often here on JCTV. Not been a prevalent feature of the ITP and or slide job schedules, but good to see it. Always a fun track. So we'll look to see what happens here tonight.
Yeah, I absolutely love this track. I know it's a road course that is a lot more technical than, say, Watkins Glen, which Watkins Glen always seems to be a fan favorite. And I love Watkins Glen too, but this one, it's always just been one that I have a lot of fun driving, a lot of fun watching the races on TV. And let me point out, I say I have a lot of fun driving it. I didn't say I was really good at driving it, but just regardless, I just, playing this in the old NASCAR games, even on iRacing now, it's so fun. It is so technical. It keeps you on your toes for every lap. You've gotta stay focused. And I was watching a little bit of practicing. I saw some guys go in the dirt, and that's pretty easy to do here. But you don't want to go on the dirt. You want to keep it right on the asphalt. And tonight's race, 47 laps. It's going to be real hard. Be perfect for 47 laps around this track. 1.96 miles. What we got tonight per lap.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting. Sonoma's not my favorite road course to drive, at least in the Cup car. I haven't really raced it in other stuff. I've only really driven it in, I think, actually the truck, not even the Cup car. And it's a track that's super technical. I am just not a good road course racer in stock cars. I've had a decent bit of success on iRacing and open wheel and GTs, but I just cannot get a good feel for stock cars around road courses. But Sonoma's a track where it's all about maximizing your speed and mid-speed and middle speed corners. There is a lot of corners that are of rhythm sections, S's, where you got to maintain speed, but you're not full throttle. You're not full throttle much of this lap at all. So it's really a lot of throttle control and figuring out how to carry the most speed through the S's both up and down this racetrack.
Yeah, I'd love to get an onboard with somebody. Let's see here. Devin Frank. See, there's the line. See how Devin Frank takes on this track. Up into turns 1 and 2, downshifting to second gear.
I was going to suggest we got he's wrecking right now, never mind. I was going to suggest Ethan Fonseca Moreno, one of our fastest drivers right now, coming to take the green, possibly. There's a big spread in this field right now. The speeds from the majority of the pack probably running within... Cody Rivera's is about a second faster than everybody at a 114, but then almost everybody running a 115 down to a 121. 6-second spread across the majority of the field. Then you got one guy, Tyler Hallahan, a little further back, but that 6-second spread, really a lot of difference for such a short lap. Like, it's only a 75-second lap, one of the shorter road course laps you'll run, but the fact that there's a 6-second difference just between that front and the rear of the field is pretty huge. It means there's a good chance we'll probably see some lap traffic come into play tonight, assuming we don't get any cautions, as there is no stage caution in this race. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out with that, as I think track position is going to be key here in this race, and we do have a chance for cautions, but most likely we'll not get any tonight.
Yeah, I doubt that we will see any cautions tonight. Admins have said that they will throw a caution if needed, but it's going to take something really big to have a caution come out.
Yeah, and the way the cautions will work here tonight, and I might need to actually turn my voice chat on. Usually I have it disabled here when I'm broadcasting, so I can at least hear the admin chatter. Because the way it's going to work tonight is if somebody on the radio calls out a wreck, that involves more than 3 cars. If it's a 3-car or more accident, a caution can be thrown if one driver has to call it out on the radio and another driver has to confirm that it has occurred. And if that's the case, the admins will state that a caution will be thrown in a minute and a half after that to allow everybody to cycle onto pit road if they wish to pit before the caution. Kind of like you see in IndyCar or IMSA in road racing, with when there's like a debris or a car wreck, that they'll wait to close the pits. So that's going to be what's going to happen tonight if we get a caution. But as you said, I think this field's going to get pretty spread out. I don't think we got it unless we have it on the initial start. I don't think we're going to see a lot of cautions, if any.
Yeah, I think the entire time I've been broadcasting, since July of 2020, I've only seen one league actually throw a caution at a road course for a wreck. I do believe it was a slide job at Circuit of the Americas, going into turn 1, I believe. Big pile up, admins threw a caution, and I think that's about the only time I've ever seen a league actually have a yellow flag.
Yeah, just to explain to viewers a little bit, on iRacing, typically at road courses, at ovals, iRacing itself will throw cautions for spun cars, so admins don't have to deal with it usually. Occasionally they'll have to throw cautions because sometimes if a car spins to the apron, it won't record the caution. But at a road course, there is no iRacing controlled yellows. The only way you can have yellows at road courses is if admins throw it. And there's some programs people can use to generate cautions at road courses, but most places like here, you'll have the admins will have the ability to throw it using admin controls, but that's the only way we're going to have one tonight. So that's why usually you don't see a lot of cautions at these road course races. I mean, I wish we did, because my only chance of ever having a good finish at a road course is if there's a chance for strategy, and with no cautions, you tend to not have a lot of strategy variation.
Currently watching Luke Nupp, who is P2 on the board. He's
Luke Nupp, one of our won the winner of the Slide Job Racing League race this past Tuesday night at North Wilkesboro Speedway. He has locked up, I believe, the regular season championship in that league, so making a start tonight in the Coast to Coast Cup Series. You see him off-roading a little bit.
So Luke Nupp, all he has to do is start the next Slide Job race. He will lock up the regular season championship. Or he can take a provisional. Basically, he has to just get points in some sort of way, and the regular season championship is his. That's on Tuesday nights, of course, Slide Job Racing League. One race left before the playoffs start over there. And yeah, I mean, Luke Nupp, he has been on fire this season.
Yeah, he's been really strong in the Slide Job Race Series. I wish I was where he was at the points rather than I'm in that same race, currently in the playoffs, but not with a big gap to that cut line. So I guess that's kind of my role in every league we were in, is to be close to the cut line. So see what happens there. But yeah, lots of good racing coming up this week on JCTV, both the In the Pits News Truck Series at Bristol this weekend, and then the Slide Job Racing League next Tuesday at Chicagoland. But tonight, I think Nupp's going to be one of your favorites here tonight. I think you see Cody Rivera has been at the top of the board this entire time. He's almost got a second on everybody else in terms of his best lap. Then again, at road, especially at Sonoma, there's a lot of variation and usually there's a decent bit of tire fall off. So at the same time, fast lapping here might not for sure translate to being fast in race trim. So it's going to be something to look for as we move on. If Cody Rivera can if he can get out front and control this race, I think he's going to be really hard to beat here tonight.
So one thing I could say about the Cup cars on road courses, first of all, the next gen, I love them on road courses. They drive a lot easier than past road course cars, in my opinion. I blast driving these things around these races. Tire fall off in the next gens is very non-existent at road courses. So you can get away without taking tires. And actually, I know at least in open setups, which this isn't open setup, but tires are still the same regardless. It's encouraged not to take tires on pit stops because the more wear, it almost gives you more grip. That could be something that we see tonight. Now, I do believe that I've called a Coast to Coast Cup Series race. It's been on a road course, and I mentioned that. And I was surprised that it seemed like everybody was taking the tires. So we'll see tonight what's going to happen. I'm interested to know, if there are drivers that do stay out.
Here's my view on that. It's
not necessarily stay out.
The tires, you don't have a lot of lap time fall off, but having driven this car on road courses, you don't have lap time fall off, but it tends to get a little slicking up, and eventually you fall off that cliff, and the tires, especially here where rear end grip's going to matter, you'll start getting those rear tires hot, and you're just going to struggle to get drive off corners. You'll make it up. That extra heat in the tires actually kind of helps you on turn in, but I think it just gets sketchier. I think that's why usually you'll see people taking tires. But then again, these cars also on cold tires are terrible to drive. Until those tires get up to temperature, you cannot drive hard at all on this car. So yeah, I think that'll be something to look for tonight is, do people take tires? But usually Sonoma, compared to a lot of road courses, you do get a little more fall off than, for example, Watkins Glen. So it was just see if we actually get some tonight. And we've seen tires management come big into play already this season, especially in our season opener in the season opening exhibition race at South Boston, where Luke Peters, by far the fastest car, but didn't save his tires as well as Ellis Wells, and Wells was able to take advantage on a late restart. So once again, it's just one of the many things that all these drivers got to take into consideration here tonight. As also, I believe we also are going to have group qualifying, so that's another thing to look out for here in just a minute.
Yeah, that could play a big factor into qualifying strategy as well here. Group qualifying, it can get sketch. Because, we talk about it mostly at Daytona or Talladega out of any other track, because if you even get so much as a 0x, your lap is invalidated. And so here, being at a road course, again, you just get those lefts or rights off the pavement, you could find yourself you can find yourself ruining somebody else's lap, or, having your lap ruined by somebody else's mistake.
Yeah, as we see Cody Rivera's going to be among those rolling off pit road right now, I would think he might be the one to keep the eye on here, as already got a car off in the grass. Patrick Coluccio looks almost intentional based on where he is, so maybe just trying to get out of the way and find some clean track right now. But yeah, you see the cars just starting to negotiate their way up through the S's as we get ready, and Cody Rivera is going to go to the front of the line. Probably a good move there, hopefully going to get some clean track for when he takes the green flag at the end of this lap. Unlike in NASCAR, we don't have the alternate starting finish line that NASCAR uses, so they will have to take the real start finish line, so you will have to go past the pit entry at least twice to record a lap time.
Yeah, so right now Cody Rivera's going down the S's, and now heading into turn 10.
And I think, just based on what we were seeing in practice, you see up ahead, Ethan Moreno off on the gravel, a couple other drivers. I say a little blank from Rivera's, but hopefully fine with that. Moreno going to give him space. Actually, might be a good decision by Moreno. Going to try to optimize his exit there and maybe get a better run to that green flag. Rivera's will start his lap.
Good job so far through here.
Yeah, it's all about maintaining speed through the S's. Now we're going to come up to one of the big passing zones on this track. Big braking zone into that turn. I believe that's turn 7A.
I think that's 4A, and then this right here is 7.
Yeah, something like that. We skip corners.
It's
yeah, the corner numbers I don't know here because every time I come here I'm confused because they don't number the corners in order. It goes from 4 to 7. So you see the 05, I believe that's Will Cloud just going to take the off-road, and this is still looking really smooth here for this lap for Cody Rivera's.
Now the hard break into turn 11. That one I know.
Yeah, and that one I know. And that's going to be our main passing zone on this track. You can really try to outbrake people into that corner, and a lot of times you'll see contact there. Almost races like a short track, like a Martinsville hairpin. As we see them come across the line, Cody Rivera's the first driver to take a lap time, runs a 1:15.977. Ethan Marino second at a 1:16.735. Rivera's going to get checked up a little bit. He starts the second lap by Brady Floyd, so this lap will not be as fast for him. We'll see where some other people can slot in.
Oh, contact with Ethan. Well, Ethan came in hot.
Yeah, it looks like they were all kind of checking up there behind Will Cloud and those guys on hot laps. If I were them, I would not have reset to the pits based on what you were saying about tires. Yeah, my experience with this car, I would not reset to the pits unless your car is broken or damaged. I would actually almost prefer to slide those tires a little bit, get a little more heat in them.
Yeah, I mean, it is so crazy the way that the tires work with this car. You know, I know, you know, a track like Watkins Glen, you go through the S's and you see Brian Lorenzo actually spinning there off of, I don't know what turn that is. 3? 2?
Somewhere.
Yeah. I know the important ones, turn 1, turn 4, turn 7, and turn 11. And turn 4, 7, and 11 are going to be your passing zones. And basically right there, that hard right-hander that you saw, that's 4A. This one here is 7, another right-hander. So you got those two back-to-back. And those are really good passing zones. You go through the S's, and if you're side-by-side here, you're going to be losing a lot of momentum. So trying to get single file down through here as quickly as possible.
Another car to keep, and another driver right now to keep the eye on is Luke Peters. I believe he might have the highest road eye rating in our field today, and he's been the winner last week. Currently on a lap. He's kind of got a little bit of traffic now in front of him, but it's been pretty clean in terms of traffic so far on this lap. We'll see if he catches Ellis Wells before the end of it. Elsa Andretti Robinson's gone P2 at a 1:16.109, and Luke Nutt P3 at a 1:16.192. We're going to see Ellis Wells just bail out to that escape room, get out of the way, give Luke Peters clean track. Chance here for a very fast lap for Peters.
Oh,
if he keeps it on the track, that was a 1X, and that will invalidate that lap time, so he's going to have to go again trying to record a lap.
He's got
a faster lap.
He's
currently P21.
Yeah, he's got Luke Nupp all over his bumper as well. Peters
him and Nupp,
regroup.
probably two of the fastest drivers here, so that's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Meanwhile, Luke Nupp, speaking of, Luke Nupp just ran the fastest lap of the session, goes to the pole with a 1:15.738. We'll see if Cody Rivera can possibly answer back, as he is currently going towards turn 11. He'll have at least a clean run at turn 11. I don't know what else has happened on that lap so far for him.
Oh, taking it wide through 11.
Yeah, definitely probably not a fast lap there. He was going wide through 11. He might be, once again, I think, possibly setting up this lap to be a fast lap with that wide exit. You can maybe get just a little bit more pace because you can get to the throttle a little earlier. It's going to hurt that previous lap time, but might help this lap time.
So we're going to go back to the Luke and Luke show here. Peters and I want to see Peters where he can be at here.
Yeah, Peters has actually been a little faster than Nupp on this lap, it appears, and this time he does not get a 1X through turn 10, and now he's going to be able to go into turn 11. Good entry, hard entry. Luke Nutt be able to close a little bit up on him. Both of them, I think, are on very fast laps right here.
At the line, Luke Peters, P1.
Yep, a 1:15.088. Luke Nutt, meanwhile, right behind him, ran a 1:15.353, which I believe was an improvement, but still not enough to keep the pole. As him and it was about a 4/10 improvement, but still not enough for the pole. Meanwhile, Wyatt Roberts has bumped up to P3 for 1:15.957. Cody Riveras, though, is exiting turn 11 on, I believe, a fast lap right now. I don't have exact.
Was a little bit off. Turn 11 there as well. Still.
Yeah, and that shows 1:16.009, so no improvement there for Cody Riveras. Another driver who's putting in some good lap times right now is Wyatt Roberts, as he is trying to possibly bump his way into the top, up onto the front row. I think he got some traffic on that on his past lap.
You know what I love about road course league racing, different from road course official racing, is it seems like, in officials, whoever gets the pole pretty much runs away from it, as long as there's no mistakes. League racing, a lot of times we'll see, there's drivers that can keep up with each other and they battle, and it's not always, just a single man race, and I really like that.
I mean, it depends on what league you're in. This one, so far, every road course race they've had has been really competitive and close. Meanwhile, you go to ITPN, and pretty much every road course race we do at ITPN is just either Cameron Caldwell, Kristen Maher, or Michael Kruger just winning by 20 seconds every time. No, like hard feelings to those. They're just better than everybody at road courses, which is weird. Like I've raced with Mikey in road courses in non like trucks, and I actually feel like a lot of times I'm just as fast as him, not faster. But in the trucks, I don't know what he does differently than I do, but whatever it is, it's worth multiple seconds every time.
I will say, the Charlotte Roval that we did at the end of the Snooze Truck Series, there was only one man that did not collect a single incident point. And you know who that man's name is?
Was it Josh Coppernell?
It was.
Congrats on that. I think I still beat you in that race.
Yeah, probably, but I had 0 incident points because of 56 seconds. We're coming down to the final 10 seconds of qualifying, and Cody Riveras is back on top, a 1:15.055.
And something to note, everybody who is on a lap will be able to finish it. Luke Peters among those, possibly with a chance to improve his time. We'll see if the drivers know that. Sometimes drivers are not always aware of the fact that you can finish a lap if you're in progress, and I don't think Peters was aware of that as he drives head-on into a wall. Cody Riveras, I believe, will be our pole sitter, although Luke Nupp is also on a lap right now and potentially has a chance to get something out of it, as he is, but he might get checked up here by the 52 in front of him.
He's got Luke in front of him. And, of course, going through the S's, heading through turn 10. Luke's going to run wide. Nupp gets by.
That was close, but I think he kept it clean, so maybe a chance here for Nupp to improve his time, possibly to bump up the board.
Oh, no.
Nobody loops it off the final quarter.
He was trying hard, giving it as much throttle as possible pretty quickly.
Another driver who possibly is on a fast lap right now, Ethan Fonseca Moreno. He ran a 1:15.688. He has not yet taken. Oh no, he has taken the checkered flag in this session. So I believe that will do it. I don't think there's anybody active still setting a time, and there is in fact not, as we will move on to the race session, I believe. So Cody Riveras, your pole sitter.
So usually I like to do picks to win before we even do qualifying. We had quite a bit to talk about in the little practice session, so that's all right. Real quick before we get into our grid, Brett, who is your pick to win tonight?
It might be the low-hanging fruit, but I'm going to take Cody Riveras. He was fastest in practice, fast pole sitter. Really, I think if he can just keep his car under him this race, he's going to be in a really good shape to go on and win this race, pick up his first win of his season as he tries to defend his championship from season 0.
It's a really good pick, and honestly, if you didn't pick him, I was. I know Cody Rivera is really good at road courses, and I think he's got a really good shot to win tonight. But since you picked him, and we always pick different drivers, I'm gonna go with Luke Nupp, and I think we've got a case to say for Luke Peters as well. Starting P2 really fast. You mentioned it. His IR is the highest of anybody in here with road. But Luke Nupp, this man has been on a hot streak lately in a different league, but he knows what it takes to win. He loves winning. He has a blast. And going to start P3, has pretty good pace tonight. I think Luke Nupp, driver of the 29, he's going to find victory lane.
I will add the rest of the Aaron Brown, Matthew Miles, Ethan Signorino all also ran very competitive times in qualifying and could also be outside threats to win this race. So there's a couple other guys who are fast too. So it's going to be interesting to see if who can keep it clean, who can keep it on track, because there's definitely a lot of fast cars at the front of this field.
I was going to say, if it's not Rivera's or Nupp, I'm not going to be surprised. There are a lot of good drivers in this field, as you mentioned. Let's go ahead and go through our starting grid. Starting on the pole is Cody Rivera's. Luke Peters starting on his outside of P2. Luke Nupp starting P3. Aaron Brown will start 4th, and 5th is going to be Matthew Miles.
Starting 6, we have Ethan Fonseca Moreno, ETB. Starting 7th, Nicholas Borowski. Wyatt Roberts 8th, and Jordy Robinson 9th, and the 99 of Eric Heater 10th.
Starting in 11th is going to be Ollie Reeves. 12th, Brian Lorenzo. 13th, Ellis Wells. 14th is going to be Alexander Schumacher. And 15th will be Trevor Burns.
Starting 16th, the 08 of Cody Webster. Then the number 3 of Greg Snellgrove. Shockey Tarpley 18th. Jason Radcock 19th. And Will Cloud rounding out our top 20 in the 05.
Starting in 21st is Devin Frink. 22nd, Luke Mahone. 23rd goes to it's going to be Malachi Drake. I apologize. 24th, Brian Lucan. 25th, Brandon Fiedler.
The rest of our top 30, Brad Suwinski starts 26th, Brady Floyd 27th, Patrick Coluccio 29th, Coluccio 28th, Gallo 29th, Tyler Hallahan P30.
And starting 31st is Zachary Thornton. Paul Ems will start in 32nd. Michael Walls 33rd, Sean Kissany 34th, and rounding out the field is Connor Zola.
A strong 35-car field here tonight as they are right now going through the second set of S's, coming up to that final corner before the pit entry. Pace car will be in here as we get ready to go for 47 laps here at Sonoma.
And that pace car is going to work its way into the safety of pit road. I'm telling you, I love this track a lot. I'm excited to see a race here. There, coming off turn 11. Barney the flagman has that green flag in hand. And it's waving. Green flag is in the air.
Yeah, good jump there for Luke Peters, and that's in what will be the outside lane in the first corner.
Is that the 0-2? It is. Traver Burns around 56 as well of Devin Frank. Traver Burns gets going. Devin Frank is now rolling.
It looks like Traver Burns maybe went on green and then ran up into the back of Ellis Wells and spun around. Luckily, not a lot of cars involved there. Everybody did a good job getting by that 0-2 who was stopped in the middle of the track.
Peter's still putting on the fight to Rivera's. They're side by side coming out of 7, but Rivera's going to power on.
Yeah, good decision by Peters there, not trying to fight it. You don't want to be side by side through the S's. You're just going to hemorrhage time to cars in front and behind you when you're side by side through the S's. Aaron Brown, meanwhile, pressuring Luke Peters for the second position. Good start for that Optic Gaming number 7.
Peters takes a shallow entry into 11. Brown might have to go wide here for Nupp.
Yeah, Luke Nupp going to try to get a run on Aaron Brown, maybe go after that third position. Meanwhile, by the way, we only had 34 cars take the green flag. It appears Connor Zola, I don't believe he is in sim at the moment. So he is not in sim, so he did not take the green flag here. So a 34 car field here tonight. Luke Peters still putting the pressure on the 36 of Cody Riveras.
Trouble is Nicholas Borowski around. He's backwards. Gonna power it up, get onto the grass. This car facing the correct way. And
yeah, a little bit of a spin there, and looks like he just spun right in front of that 99. In front of the 99 of Eric Heater. Did a good job just getting out of the way. Dropped to the rear of the field, but keep it going. Hopefully, he'll hope maybe that he can get a caution, get some of his track position possibly back. And still, Luke Peters not letting Cody Riveras get away from him out front.
Aaron Brown caught the grass off of turn 10. Just a little bit. Leaping up, not close enough to capitalize on it. Nope. Still hanging right there.
And Eric Heater, meanwhile, was up to the 8th position and then had to take evasive action in turn 11. Missed the tire bundles, missed the tire wall on the outside, but lost multiple positions.
Had a little moment there. And we got another car around. I believe it's Luke Mahone. Oh, a few of them around. Devin Frank. Patrick Lucio.
Yeah, we'll see if anybody called it out the race control. I don't have that mic'd up, but that could be a caution coming if that's the case. Multiple cars around there. Luke Mahone appeared to start with Luke Mahone. Luke Mahone just lost it entering turn 1. Spun around, came to a stop at the middle of the track. Actually, everybody got by him. I think what we were seeing was just everybody's timing dropping back as we got another car around in turn 7A, Tyler Hallahan. Still, Cody Riveras continues to lead. Luke Peters second, followed by Luke Nupp and Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Those 5 have really pulled away from the rest of the field out to a 10 seconds back to is Wyatt Robertson 6th. Meanwhile, those top 5 all within 4 seconds of your race leader, Cody Riveras.
Yeah, there's really not anybody just kind of by themselves. Everybody's grouped up together, but here comes Peters to the inside of Riveras in 7th. Riveras has that run off.
Yeah, you can... Really, if I'm Peters, I'm thinking about maybe trying to make the move into turn 11. I really do believe that is the best place to make a pass on this track. But he might be a little too far back, as Cody Riveras seems to be a little bit better through those medium speed S's, especially down the hill towards turn 11.
Oh, Riveras going to go wide out of 11 a little bit.
I think that's intentional because he really gets a good run off by doing that. I think Peters is trying to pinch it under him, but he's compromising his exit a little bit by doing that. We'll see if he can maybe get back towards him here in the turn 2. Meanwhile, Michael Walls possibly with some issues, as he spun it, almost went for a spin in turn 4A. I know we mentioned it at the top of the broadcast that we might have lap traffic coming into play. Leader's already within 30 seconds of lap traffic after only 4 laps, so we'll definitely be seeing lap traffic before too long here tonight.
Yeah, and I know as somebody who has been lap traffic at this track, it is so hard to get out of the way. In some places of this track, you really hope that if you are one of the cars that are unfortunately getting lapped, you really hope that they catch you in those corners that we've talked about, 4A, 7, or 11. You get caught down in the S's.
Yeah, you just don't have the room to get out of the way there, and that's going to be where people are going to. And it was see it a lot of these road course races. That's where you can really gain and lose time as the leader is while you're navigating lap traffic. A little bit of a blink there for Cody Rivera. Still doesn't look like a consistent problem. Meanwhile, Michael Walls has pulled into the pits and I believe has called it a night.
Got a battle here. Oh man, Brown got loose on those curbs. Make that Nup got loose on the curbs. Either Fonseca Moreno is trying to take advantage of it.
Yeah, that Ethan Fonseca Moreno, one of those drivers who we see in most of our series is here on JCTV. He's really been running strong lately. I've been impressed with how he's progressed as a driver this past season. When he first came into, initially I believe the In the Pits News Truck Series, was a little bit of a wrecking ball, was fast but a wrecking ball, but really has seemed to mature as a driver and really been impressive in every league I've been running with him. And once again, running well here in the top 5.
Doing a pretty good job. Holding on to. We have a battle back here for 17th, 18th. Brandon Fiedler is going to get around Zachary Thornton.
Yeah, meanwhile, Ethan Fonseca Moreno has managed to get around Luke Nutt for that 4th position. He's going to try to set his sights and try to run down that number 7 of Aaron Brown. Meanwhile, Cody Rivera and Luke Peters starting to put a little bit of distance between themselves and the rest of the field.
I'm still very curious to know, what kind of strategy are we going to see with the pit strategy?
Yeah, and another thing to note here that there is a stage at the end of lap 15 that will award points, just like NASCAR did most of the season. They've changed it for no apparent reason for the Roval. But we will not be having a caution at the end of the stage, so lap 15 will be our stage break. I don't expect to see, especially most of our front runners, pitting before then. As we know, we got a little bit of a battle going on for that 12th position, although it seems to have, as I say, that's lighted up a little bit. But Andretti Robinson holding on that 9th position, a little bit of train behind him. Eric Heater trying to pressure him, trying to get that 9th position. They're right behind Alexander Schumacher as they're kind of tight for 8th through 10th.
Yeah, these guys are very close together.
Yeah, Andretti Robinson, that's that sister car to the 36 of Cody Rivera's, also with the Aero colors on it. Him with a Menards on the quarter panel. He's had some strong runs, not been quite as consistently up front as Cody Rivera's, but another driver who's pretty solid usually. So had a good run here. Meanwhile, Eric Heater right behind him. And Alex Schumacher, another driver who's had some solid runs so far this year in that Michelob Ultra machine. Right now, though, it appears none of them really able to make a move on each other, as you see Eric Heater going to try to optimize his entry there by running a little wide on entry, but actually blinked out through the middle of the corner. Meanwhile, Luke Peters has started to close a little bit back in on Cody Rivera, as Cody Rivera has caught the first lap traffic of the race in the 46 of Tyler Hallahan. Is just going to run wide at turn 4A and get out of the way of the 2 leaders.
It's a smart move there by Tyler Hallahan. But I think it did affect Cody Rivera's entry into 4A just a little bit.
Meanwhile, Devin Frank, by the way, just had a spin in turn 11. Just a little loop on exit. kept it going, no damage, and continues on. Yeah, that did affect Cody Rivera's definitely, as it let Luke Peters close in a decent bit. Luke Peters still trying to put some pressure on Cody Rivera as they are now coming up on the 18 of Patrick Coluccio to put him a lap down.
A couple of them in a row as well.
Yeah, Coluccio, but then we got Cody Webster, as actually Cody Webster actually is on pit road right now.
It's Devin Frank.
Meanwhile, Paul Ims spins out in, I believe, turn 2, and spins in the middle of the track in front of several cars, the 42 and the and others narrowly avoiding him. Or actually, I believe that was the 02 of Traver Burns.
Leaders caught Patrick Lucio, and
once again, he gets out of the way there in turn 7, lets him go, but that's allowed Luke Peters once again to close right up on the back bumper of Cody Riveras. Meanwhile, not far in front of them is Devin Frank, recently just spun out, and actually, we got a Ethan Moreno has lost the force with the Luke Nupp, ran a little wide in turn 1 into the grass, had to lift out to keep from wrecking, and that has allowed Luke Nupp to retake our 4th position.
back up front to lead.
Yeah, Cody Rivera's now closing in. Meanwhile,
Devin Frank
just had an incident. I'm not sure what just happened to Brian Lukens, but he just hit the wall at about 1,000,000 miles an hour and flipped upside down. So I think his night's over. He has said that his wheel disconnected, which would explain why he went head-on into a wall.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, if you have the replay, Josh, you might want to show that. Kind of shades of Jimmy Johnson at Watkins Glen, but into a cement wall instead of foam.
Yeah, it's times like this. I am so glad that this is a sim, because if that was a real crash.
Yeah, I might need to send the EMTs out.
Cody Rivera still working through lap traffic. Luke Peters right there behind him. He's got Luke Mahone next car.
Yeah, Luke Mahone and Brad Sawinski right in front of him. Meanwhile, not far from him, a couple drivers struggling, including Brady Floyd. As you're going to see the 5 of Luke Mahone, he's just going to pull over on the short chute and let both the 2 leaders go by. We'll see if Brad Sawinski does the same here. Meanwhile, Alexander Schumacher has gotten around to Eric Heater for that 8th position, and Dirty Robinson has dropped back to 10th. Brad Sawinski not really moving out of the way here. He's going to force Cody Rivera to try to make a move on him, it appears. He's going to have to try to dive it down to the inside of him, and that'll allow Luke Peters to get right up onto his rear bumper. He will go wide in turn 11, let him go. Next car they will come up on is the 20 of Brady Floyd. As Cody Rivera's a little blink there. Luke Peters, though, continuing to put the pressure on Cody Rivera, is not letting him get away. Meanwhile, we're going to come to 2 laps to go in the stage this time. 20 of Brady Floyd, once again, going to get... Cody Rivera is going to catch him down in the downhill S's and actually Brady Floyd could probably do the smart thing and just go into the grass, get out of the way of the 36 and 50, let them both go by, continue their race. But Luke Peters is going to be right on Cody Rivera into the big braking zone for turn 11 here. Actually got a really good run through turn 10. So there is a bunch of cars right in front of him. Brandon Fiedler, Sean Kazane, and Paul Ems. You can tell Cody Rivera is pushing a little bit harder through the S's there, trying to get away from Luke Peters.
Riding on board there with Peters for that lap. Just see, you know, watching the onboard view, how much Peters really have to control that vehicle. And that's one thing I don't understand how drivers can look like that and be so good at this kind of racing.
Yeah, I don't have that talent, so I can't tell you. Now put me in a prototype or a formula car, maybe I could show a little bit, but in this, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, you see heavy lap traffic now for Cody Rivera, the 21 of Paul Ems, the 26 of Sean Kazane, and the 39 of Brandon Fiedler.
They're going to get around Ems and Kissany.
Yeah, Peters did have a little peak there, not able to get by him as we will take 1 new lap to go in stage number 1 here. We'll see if Peters maybe tries to make a move here, try to take the stage, especially with that 39 of Brandon Fiedler right in front of him and Cody Rivera.
Peters is right there. Not close enough in 4A to make a move. Will he make a move in 7? He does not. It's a little bit of a wider entry.
Meanwhile, Shockey Tarpley started back in the 18th position. He's now passed Alexander Schumacher and moved into that final stage point scoring position in the 10th position. He's going to look to basically score some stage points as Peters going to have a little, maybe have a chance here into the turn 11. He's going to try to stay with him at least. I don't know if he's going to be close enough though.
It's a good run out of 10.
Yeah, Peters lately seems to have been a little better in turn 10 than Cody Rivera, and actually looked like he may have tried to get in deep, try to get to his bumper, but he's not going to get there.
Cody Rivera's going to win the stage. No caution will come out. We're going to stay green. It's going to be Rivera's, Peters, Brown.
Aaron Brown comes across in third. Meanwhile, we got a battle. We got Luke Knupp going to come home fourth, it appears, followed by Ethan Fonseca Moreno fifth. Matthew Miles sixth. Wyatt Roberts seventh. Eric Heater eighth, I believe, and then a battle for those last 2 stage points, but it appears Andretti Robinson will get ninth and Shockey Tarpley will come across in 10th. Now we'll see now if people start to pit. I don't know the fuel window here, so I cannot tell you if it's going to be a 1 or a 2 stop race. If they start to pit now, it's going to probably have to be a 1 stop race. Meanwhile, we have an issue for Luke Knupp, the 29.
Oh, real quick before we go there, Peters to the inside of Rivera's. Rivera's went way wide in 11. Peters, new race leader here.
And what happened to Luke Knupp in turn 7 looked like he tried to dive it down to the inside of the number 20 of lap car 20 of Brady Floyd, and Floyd didn't look like he knew what he was there. Knupp did a good job getting it back straight quickly, but he loses 2 positions, dropping back to the 6th position, getting Ethan Fonseca Moreno and Matthew Miles getting by him.
So Luke Knupp is back to P6. He's got a little bit of work to do. Meanwhile, Peters got the race lead. Cody Rivera's still right there, though.
Yeah, and there's Zachary Thornton, another lap car right in front of them, our winner from Daytona. Back-to-back really good runs, but he's going to do his front thing, get out of the way. And that's what I've noticed from that 35 so far this season. Had 2 really good runs to start the year, but very smart driver in terms of how he races other people. He's not going to force the issue. It seems like he's not somebody who's going to force the issue and potentially cause himself to get wrecked. And really, it's been benefiting him so far. Has him towards, if not, I believe, leading the points at this point in the season.
Oh, Luke Knupp trying to get around Brad Swinski. Had a little bit of contact.
Yeah, I think Luke Knupp might be a little hot right now. Got spun out by a lapped car. It wasn't intentional, but probably didn't make him the happiest person right now. And he's probably driving hard trying to get it back after that. You know, we got Sean Kissiney on pit road. He had just hit the wall pretty hard, so possibly on pit road for repairs here.
Oh, Peters is in the grass.
Peters goes wide. And that was almost an accident, as the 46 of Tyler Hallahan had absolutely killed the wall. It was off in the grass already, missing his nose. His car just got killed. It got loose and looks like he overcorrected and hit that wall a ton out of the corner. That might do it for the 46 of Tyler Hallahan as he pulls on the pit road. You know, Traber Burns not going to let Luke Peters go. It might let Cody Rivera get a chance here to close back up on that 50 of Luke Peters. Yeah, Traber Burns not going to pull aside, and they're starting to get to the point where these lapped cars are drivers who have pretty decent pace. So I would not be surprised to see a lot of these drivers not really pulling aside for them, as you see Traber Burns now getting out of the way. Next to go down to Eric Heater. Not sure what happened to him. He was up in the 10th position, but has dropped all the way back to 18th. There's also Sean Kissinane has now lost his left hand. He'll be our 31st place finisher here tonight. You know, we got multiple cars around. It looks like actually just Luke Mahone spun. Maybe I also got Brad Coluccio and Brad Sawinski also listed as wrecking, so looks like 3 separate individual spins, but
right now it is Luke Peters, Cody Rivera's, Aaron Brown, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, and Matthew Miles, top 5. We're going to step aside for a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. You won't miss a thing, as we are going on JCTV side by side.
Oh, look at Kyle Busch out there.
Yeah, he is all over the track.
I mean, what has gotten into him today?
Oh, that cannot be good.
Oh, unbelievable.
Whoa, look out.
Wait a minute. Is Kyle in reverse?
Yeah, you don't see that every day. Okay, that is bad driving.
Oh, this is not like Kyle at all.
Are we winning?
I thought you were looking.
M&M's makes race day more fun.
What is Kyle thinking?
Right side tire chase filling full of fuel, and you heard the instruction.
Right tires only. Right tires only.
Hey! No, 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 no!
Every sip gets you closer to Justin Timberlake MP3s.
Hey. Hey to you.
A chance to meet Jeff Gordon.
You okay, Justin?
Millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
Hey guys, it's Jonathan from JCTV. Here at JCTV, we currently broadcast 3 series. On Tuesdays, you'll catch the Slide Job Racing League featuring drivers such as Dalton Kilroe, Dane Cruz, and Jonathan Parker.
And real quick, we are 3 wide for the race lead. Hawkins, Wygen, Hapiak, they went 4 wide for a moment with a lap car.
On Fridays, you'll see the NAOR series featuring Nick Hapiak, Chris Wright, and Josh Arnold. As that happens, here comes the 5 through the middle right now. He's going to force the issue and take it
4 wide! 4 wide!
God.
What a move by Justin Durand to go to the race lead!
On Saturdays, you can find the In the Pit News Truck Series featuring Justin Durand, Zach Probst, and Ethan Fonseca Moreno. To book JCTV for your own league, please visit us at jctvracing.com and contact us for your booking. Remember, race fans, you can always watch racing live or anytime over at JCTV's YouTube channel.
Back here live from Sonoma Raceway, the Coast to Coast Cup Series. And looks like Aaron Brown coming down pit road.
Yeah, that's the first of our leaders to come to pit road, and I gotta think that means we're probably in the fuel window to make it to the end. We're just short of halfway here. Maybe gonna try to pit early, try to get some advantage, but as you said, fuel only for that 7 car, and it appears he just took 1 can of fuel. Probably the right decision. We'll see. Maybe we see Luke Peters and Cody Rivera take tires. Maybe that will play off for Aaron Brown, possibly cycling him ahead. As he comes out of the pits in 6th place, that really shows how much this field is separated. Aaron Brown came in from the 3rd position, only got passed by Moreno, Nupp, and Miles, dropping back to 6th despite coming to pit road.
Peters and Rivera select to not pit that time by. Yeah, as you mentioned, Aaron Brown, a couple spots lost here. Going to be about 6th place.
And as you mentioned, no tires for that 7 machine, fuel only. And you never know, especially if you get other cars taking tires, that could be a big advantage. As actually, it seems like Rich Cheater in the commercial break.
Around in the grass, still struggling to get it going.
And we'll see if Luke Peters or Rivera possibly does come to pit road this time. But as you were saying with tires on our pre-race before this race, Luke Peters ran the fastest lap of the race 2 laps ago. So tire fall off does not appear to be a concern right now. And that said, I think we're going to keep seeing, I'm not sure if we see more people take fuel only here. But if they don't take fuel only, that actually might cycle Aaron Brown to the lead. As once again, Cody Rivera and Luke Peters pass the pit road entry and do not come to pit road. Now, we do have a battle shaping up for that 9th position between the 57 of Ellis Wells and the 25 Columbia Chevrolet of Chalky Tarpley.
Wells goes a little wide there out of 4A.
And once again, we'll keep an eye here. Luke Peters, they are coming up on the 71 of Jason Ratchcock. He's currently running 17th position, but about to go a lap down. Really a tremendous pace being set by Peters and Rivera so far in this race. They've lapped half the field at this point, and Continuing to put cars lap down.
Yeah,
when they're... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Ethan Fonseca Moreno, who is third place, is in between 4A and 7. And I think just as I was clicking off of our race leader, yeah, he's been down in pit road. Luke Peters. Cody Rivera stays out, though.
Peters got unlucky in the 71 of Jason Radchcock, who's about to go a lap down, pitted in front of him. He was actually putting a bumper to the back of the 71 coming to pit road. They almost had contact just now on pit road. A little bit of a just there. It looked like, because you do want to attack that hairpin. Pit road speed does not start till after the hairpin, but you're on the other side of that wall. And Cody Rivera was trying to attack it, and Luke Peters was... And Jason Radchcock was not being as aggressive there. As fuel only for the 50, he's 8.7 second stop. He's out, so he's going to maintain the lead over Aaron Brown quite easily. He's actually going to exit in the second position, staying ahead of Ethan Fonseca Moreno. So once again, showing how little time these drivers are losing on pit road.
Jason Radchcock having issues off pit road, I believe.
Yeah, he took tires, and those cold tires just lost it and looped it a little bit on those cold tires. Now, the big question right now is, when is Cody Rivera going to come to pit road? Right now, I got to think he's pushing hard, trying to pull away from Luke Peters after Luke Peters pitted. But with that fuel-only stop for the 50, I got to think he's going to cycle back to the lead once we're all said and done here with green flag pit stops. There's a lot of cars now coming to pit road.
And Rivera's actually struggled getting off of 11 that time.
Yeah, I think he's pushing a little hard right now. Just it's got to be his plan right now, is to try to get to that 50 of Luke Peters and hopefully make that difference up either on pit entry or on his outlap. But really, you want to make it up now before Peters is able to get that into a rhythm.
Cody
the 30.
He has to be perfect as well.
Yeah, the 30 of Matthew Miles, by the way, on pit road now from, I believe, the fifth position. Having a really solid run for that 30 machine. He also takes fuel only.
On pit road.
And meanwhile, I know it's early in the season, but just a quick look at our points. Luke Peters was in today's race third, but the top two in points, Zachary Thornton and Brad Sawinski, running in 17th and 23rd respectively. So Luke Peters looking like he's got a very good chance to take over the points lead here tonight. As they continue to circle this track, as meanwhile Cody Rivera's continuing to not pit and trying to run around. Meanwhile, Ethan Fonseca Moreno and Luke Nupp both on pit road from the third and fourth positions. Luke Nupp had actually just gotten around Ethan Fonseca Moreno.
Luke Nupp in his stall and Ethan crawling.
Ethan actually had a little bit of contact on pit road from somebody, it looks like. And I don't know, I'm wondering if Ethan ran out of gas. That was weird how he came down pit road.
I was wondering the same thing, and he did take tires. Cody Rivera's now down pit road. So we'll watch.
No, I just went back and looked. I'm pretty sure Ethan ran out of gas. Yeah, Ethan ran out of gas, so Cody Rivera's
taking tires. Peter's going to drive on by. Peter's
not sure about the decision to take tires there from Rivera's. That's going to hurt. Meanwhile, by the way, Ethan Fonseca Moreno did run out of gas, so I thought that would have been a brilliant move by Rivera's if he didn't take tires there, because he would have cycled he probably could have taken less fuel based on how long he was able to stretch it on that run. But instead, doesn't really get that advantage and now sits almost 8 seconds behind Luke Peters. So he's really going to have to push and try to make it up because I don't think we're going to get a caution here. As meanwhile, with pit stops having finished up, we are down to only 10 cars on the lead lap.
Oh, Rivera's
is spun out.
Oh, man. Aaron Brown's going to get around Rivera's.
And that's the penalty of taking tires. Cold tires, this car, you mentioned earlier, but it's really hard to get those tires up to temperature. And that allows Aaron Brown to move up in the second position, and Luke Peters has sailed off into the California sunset right now, out to almost a 15-second lead. And if we stay green the rest of the way, which based on how this race is going, I would expect we will, I don't know if anybody's going to be able to get to that 50 of Luke Peters.
Peters going to get around. Fiedler will struggle there. As so. Oh! Borowski, I believe that was.
Yeah, he ran a little bit wide there. Meanwhile, our points leader, Zachary Thornton, just had a spin and a big impact with the tire barrier. Trying to figure out where on track that was.
Turn 10.
I believe, yeah, turn 10. Big impact with the right side of his car into that tire barrier. Checking, he does not have a meatball, so probably got lucky. Doesn't look like he did a lot of damage. New damage model and composite body, I guess. But yeah, he's not having a great run today, running 21st. Most likely going to lose the points lead today, but still really good start to the season for that 35 machine is Zachary Thornton.
.07 Wes Gallo brings it down pit road.
Yeah, he is, I believe, the last car to pit. And that means everybody now has completed their likely one green flag stop of the race. So the big losers out of green flag stops, I gotta say, are, in my opinion, are Cody Rivera's. The decision to take 4 tires plus that spin coming out of pit road drops him from right with Luke Peters to almost 20 seconds behind him, running third. And Ethan Fonseca Moreno, he ran out of gas on pit road entry. Didn't fully run out, but was sputtering, and that cost him from, I believe he was running in the 4th position before pit stops, now running in the 7th position, as Luke Knupp, Matthew Miles, and Wyatt Roberts all got around him.
Ethan Fonseca Moreno also had a little issue in turn 7 last time by. Show the replay on that just a moment ago, but his night is getting more difficult.
Meanwhile, we got a battle shaping up for the 10th position between Alexander Schumacher and Nicholas Borowski, as Schumacher looks to work around that Drake Brakes car of the number 09 of Malachi Drake. Nicholas Borowski, though, has been pressuring him. Borowski, I believe, was spun out on lap 1 or 2 of this race and has slowly climbed his way back up, now running in the 11th position and trying to get back into the top 10.
It's so tough when you put yourself in a hole early on.
Meanwhile, just a second ago, our 12th place car, Shockey Tarpley, had a little bit of a spin. That's going to drop him down to 15th position. And Borowski going to try around the outside here as Schumacher.
And Schumacher took a very shallow entry. Now Borowski is trying everything he can.
Oh, we just had a multiple car incident. Brady Floyd, I'm not sure what happened to him, but he was He spun out right in front of our 5th place car, Matthew Miles, and then Ollie Reeves. Miles barely got by, and Ollie Reeves nowhere to go. And that 31 car just called it a night after that.
Battle for the 5th position. Wyatt Roberts was able to get around Matthew Miles.
Yeah, I believe that actually started with that incident involving Brady Floyd. Miles had to take evasive action, I believe had to go through the grass to get by that. Yeah, he had to go into the grass to get by Brady Floyd, and then Ollie Reeves kind of cleared a gap. Wyatt Roberts was able to get through unabated. Possibly a slowdown penalty for that 30. Yeah, he was definitely slow through the next 2 corners, so I believe he got a slowdown. I believe that's what allowed Wyatt Roberts to get by him for that 5th position.
Back in battle between Schumacher and Borowski. These two not able to get away from each other. Borowski wants the position. Schumacher is doing everything he can to defend.
Yeah, good battle here. That Schumacher, I believe, had a Schumacher. I actually been impressed with him so far this year, but the finishes have not shown. An average finish of only 31st through our first 2 races, has him back in 43rd in points. He's one of those drivers who really needs a good run today. Same for Nicholas Borowski, who sits back 32nd in points through 2 races. Both of them just have not had the finishes that really have matched how they typically run. So both of them having really good days here, but continuing to try to improve and build momentum heading as we move forward in the season.
Right here. Notice
Schumacher is running a super defensive line through turn 11 on Borowski, and Borowski actually got loose out of turn 11 and is going to drop back. He's going to have to now put some effort in to get back to Schumacher.
Yeah, I've been noticing last few laps that Schumacher has been taking that turn 11 so shallow. Matthew Miles getting back around Wyatt Roberts.
Yeah, Wyatt Roberts ran wide out into the dirt on the exit of turn 10, and that allowed Matthew Miles to get back by him. And it's those little slip-ups that are really starting to see from drivers. Meanwhile, Luke Peters out front, almost out to an 18.5 second lead over second place Aaron Brown. It looks like a little bit of an incident with the 25 of Shockey Tarpley. He was running in the 14th position, battling the 05 McLeod. Oh, big contact with the wall on the exit of turn 4 with the left front. And he does have a meatball. That probably broke the left front suspension, so that might do it for the 25 of Shockey Tarpley here today, as he is currently limping that car back to pit road.
Take a look back and see what happened.
Yeah, I think he just messed up the exit just a little bit and got too close to that concrete. And unfortunately, I think that's going to do it for the 25 car. And meanwhile, it looks like Borowski was just about fed up. He has spun out Alexander Schumacher for the 10th position. Yeah, Schumacher got to the rear. Borowski got to the rear of Schumacher on the exit of turn 4. That's been our action spot lately. Borowski with the contact to the back. Schumacher does a good job keeping out of the fence and then getting off the racing line and getting back going. Only lost 2 spots. Actually blocked Cody Rivera a little bit getting back going. We're down to 7 cars in the lead lap. Luke Peters just sitting him up and putting him down. He is running 114s, almost a second faster than the rest of the field right now, and really putting on a clinic on how to drive road courses here tonight. You know, we do have a battle shaping up for the 14th position. Traver Burns and Will Cloud. And Will Cloud able to get by Traver Burns for that 14th position. Brian Lorenzo also right there. They're battling for the 14th, 15th, and 16th positions right now. As they head in the turn 4. And it looks like Traver Burns actually just going to let... No, he's not going to let Lorenzo have it. I thought maybe he did. I think Lorenzo just got a good exit. Burns able for now to hold on to that 15th position. But Lorenzo still looking to make a move as they head downhill towards turn 11.
And through those S's. Traver Burns right there.
And Burns going to try to make a move back on that 05 of Will Cloud. He's going to get to his inside, and he's going to get back by him, but Will Cloud going to try to cross him over.
Cloud got a little bit of a shot from Lorenzo. Trouble in turn 11 with Shocky Tarpley.
Yeah, I think his car wasn't fully repaired, and yeah, he just went back onto pit road and maybe taking more repairs now. We're calling it a night. I think he just did enough to just took his required to clear the meatball, but usually when you break a suspension piece on this car, you can get the required repair, but it's still broken unless you take almost all that optional. And even then, it's not going to drive. It's not going to be a fun car to drive for that 25. He's still going to want to get back out there, as actually I believe he cannot drop any lower than, assuming nobody rejoins the session, he will not drop any lower than 26 positions. So that'll most likely be where he will finish here tonight. You know, that battle continuing between Will Cloud and Brian Lorenzo.
Lorenzo's staying pretty even. It's Cloud.
Also, Eric Heater has gotten around Alexander Schumacher for the 11th position. Heater, I'm not sure what happened to him earlier, but he was running up in the top 10 and then suddenly dropped back to 18th. I don't think we caught what happened to him, but he's been slowly working his way back up, now all the way back up to the 11th position. Had a really good qualifying effort in that 99 Red Bull machine. He's having a solid run here tonight. Just he looks the real Nicholas Borowski, possibly. Bears just had a little bit of a moment, got around line in turn 10. Able to keep going, not a major issue.
Battle 21st, Devin Frank ahead of Paul Ems. Both drivers 2 laps down.
Yeah, Devin Frank's a driver who needs a good race. He's kind of been unlucky so far this year. Seems like he's that crunch car has been a fitting sponsor for that car, as he seems like he's just been caught up in other people's messes in every race so far. Paul Ems in that Valvoline car trying to close in on him, try to take that 21st position away.
Brian Lorenzo, Will Cloud. Oh, someone spun. Brad Swinski.
Yeah, right in front of Luke Knupp. Luke Knupp's Got a lot of cars in the way spinning in front of him today. He's trying to hold on to that car. Meanwhile, Ethan Fonseca Moreno in danger of going a lap down in 7th. Luke Peters, just impressive what he's been able to do here today as he's trying to put Ethan Fonseca Moreno now a lap down. And that would leave us with only 6 cars on the lead lap. As he has been able to do so, Luke Fonseca Moreno now also a lap down. Meanwhile, we got a battle shaping up in the top 5. Wyatt Roberts has run down the 30 of Matthew Miles. Looking to get it by him to pull into the top 5 right now. Those are the last 2 cars on the lead lap right now. Only 6 cars remaining on the lead lap. Thanks to the pace that Luke Peters is running. Although right now, all those cars in the lead lap actually running very similar lap times to what Luke Peters is doing. Just the consistency all race long from that 50 has really put him out in front. It's a bit of a lockup in the turn 7 from the 30 machine of Miles. Robert's not able to capitalize.
Still hanging there, but wasn't able to capitalize. It seems like Robert's actually struggling a little bit this end of the track.
Yeah, they got a big group of cars in front of them, including 29 of Luke Knupp, who's on the back of a couple cars, and could get a little sketchy here in a minute. As Luke Peters just once again set the fastest lap of the race, running a 1:14.344, and that is on 43. That is on 43 lap old tires. So, exciting to see that speed in that machine. Also, meanwhile, Brandon Fiedler running in the 19th position, went for a spin off of turn 4A. Was able to get it back going, but that drops him down to the 22nd position.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time up here in the booth telling people I'm not a crew chief. I don't know the strategy to call. Don't really want to listen to me when it comes to strategy. But I will say it's quite simple here at these road courses. Luke Peters actually a little struggle there. Yes, it's some grass. As I was saying, it is quite simple. Just don't take tires. I think.
Yeah, and it's definitely, at least in these cup cars, I would not do that strategy in the trucks. But
no, not at all.
I mean, I was going to say the strategy should just be to do the opposite of whatever I think might be the best strategy, because most of the time that ends up being the right strategy.
Well, I mean, the 99 would take tires.
The 99 of Eric Heater just had a little bit of a spin off turn 4A, but able to get going, doesn't lose any position, still running in the 11th spot. Wyatt Roberts now right on the back of Matthew Miles, as there's just a lot of lapped cars right in front of them right now, as Wyatt Roberts going to look to the inside in the turn 7. Oh, they got a spun car in front of him. That was Wes Gallo, and that forced Matthew Miles to check up and allow Wyatt Roberts to get by him and move up in the top 5.
And somebody got into Wes Gallo.
I would not be surprised. There was about 8 cars there, all under a blanket. And Gallo actually nobody got into him. He just got on a little bit too much of the curb and looped it. So no contact, just.
Oh, afterwards. My controls are not liking me right now.
Oh yeah, Brandon Fiedler actually did get into the 07 there at the end. You are correct on that. Luke Peters once again the fastest lap of the race here on 44 lap old tires.
So Luke Peters has Brad Sawinski right in front of him, already 2 laps down. Is Sawinski.
Meanwhile, Brandon Fiedler just went for a spin in turn 3. That allowed the 28 of Brad Sawinski entered today's race second in points, running back in the 22nd position, but was able to get by Fiedler for that 22nd position there as Fiedler went for a little spin.
Peter's going to look to the inside here, entering turn 11. So
we got a battle going on for the 16th position between Jason Radchcock and Brian Lorenzo. Also, though, issues for the 11th place car, Eric Heater, and the 19th place car, Zachary Thornton, meanwhile. Eric Heater went for a spin, did a loop in the grass, got going, but lost a position to Alexander Schumacher. Meanwhile, Zachary Thornton, actually got a little bit of help from Luke Knupp and went for a little spin. He lost a position to Devin Frank, dropping back to the 20th position, now under pressure from Paul Imms for 20th. Meanwhile, right now we got a battle shaping up for the 9th position between Ellis Wells and Nicholas Borowski. Borowski's already shown he's not afraid to use the bumper here tonight.
Quite close enough to make a move for A.
Yeah, Borowski definitely has, I think, been faster than Wells. Wells been kind of struggling lately. Still looking to hold on to a good top 10 finish here today.
But on the other end of things,
driver.
the white flag is waving, and it is one more lap for Luke Peters.
And assuming that he doesn't do something inexplicable on this last lap, I don't think there's going to be any challenges for that 50 machine. Just got to run a clean wheel on the 35 of Zachary Thornton off in the grass in front of him, and he's going to die by him now.
Luke Peters gets around Thornton just fine. Off turn 7. Now got to go through back, the S's. Down at turn 10. And just one more corner for Luke Peters. A hard braking zone in turn 11. Luke Peters had a dominant performance so far in this race. He is off turn 11. Take a little kink on the front stretch. And checker flag waving. Luke Peters, your winner here in Sonoma.
And meanwhile, Cody Rivera has slowly run down Aaron Brown and is going to be right on his rear bumper into the hairpin for that second position. And they got the lap by Wes Gallo. Gallo's going to block Aaron Brown, but Rivera's goes wide into the tires. There's contact between them. They're going to have a drag race to the line.
Rivera has the advantage with that short little lap, but it's going to be Brown taking second.
Yeah, they both sent it hard on that last lap. Aaron Brown able to hold on for that second position. I almost want to see what happened again there. I don't know if Wes Gallo might have had an issue with somebody. It looked like he was trying to block or maybe just get out of the way. Honestly, I think Gallo was trying to get out of the way, but accidentally drove Aaron Brown to the track. But then Cody Rivera's looked like he was trying to send it hard into the corner and just missed his braking marker. Bumped the fence, bumped Aaron Brown. And they just kind of had a drag race to the line. Good finish there for the second position.
But it is Luke Peters going to celebrate the win.
That's probably the only mistake he's made all race is they had that burnout sliding it into the wall.
This check flag moment is brought to you by C2 Graphics. Pretty much all the graphics you see on screen, the telemetry and all that, that's all made by C2 Graphics. And not really much tonight, but a lot of pace you see on JCTV. Specifically Saturday nights, also made by C2 Graphics. Cameron Caldwell does pretty good stuff.
He does, although I'm a little partial to Dawson Allen paintwork, but
Dawson does pretty good paints too, but I'm a C2 Graphics guy.
yeah, he does do a good job. First performance here tonight from that 50 machine of Luke Peters just was consistent all night long. I mean, he did have 8X. Only driver, nobody in the field finished with a clean race in terms of incident points. Michael Walls technically had the least with 1X. That's because he got 1X and then quit the session. But pretty much a clean race from Luke Peters. Able to go on and take home the victory in pretty dominating fashion here tonight.
Let's go ahead and go through our race results real quick. There we go. So, finishing P1, of course, is Luke Peters. Second, Aaron Brown, barely in a photo finish with Cody Rivera's, who ended up third. Luke Nupp finishes fourth. Wyatt Roberts, fifth. Matthew Miles, sixth. One lap down is Ethan Fonseca Moreno in seventh. Andretti Robinson in eighth. Ellis Wells, ninth. And Nicholas Borowski finishes in 10th.
And then the rest of our top 20, we got Eric Heater coming home 11th, had a up and down day. Alexander Schumacher got turned around by Nicholas Borowski, comes home 12th. Greg Snellgrove, really didn't hear anything about him today, but probably a good sign. Comes home 13th. Faber Burns 14th. Will Cloud 15th. Jason Ratchcock 16th. Brian Alonso 17th. Malachi Drake as first car 2 laps down at 18th. Devin Frake 2 laps down as well at 19th. Our points leader, Zachary Thornton, comes home 20th, 3 laps down. I do not believe he will retain the points lead. I believe that will go to Luke Peters.
Finishing in 21st, 3 laps down was Paul Ems. Brad Swinski 22nd. 23rd goes to Brandon Fiedler. 24, Brady Floyd. 25th, 4 laps down, Wes Gallo. 13 laps down in 26th is Shockey Tarpley. Ollie Reeves finishes in 27th. Luke Mahone 28th. Patrick Lucio 29th. And Tyler Hallahan in 30th.
The rest of the field, round out the field, Sean Kazane finishes 31st, 32 laps down. Brian Lucan has his wheel disconnect and goes head on into a wall, finishing 32nd, 38 laps down. Cody Webster, 33rd, 39th laps down. And our last place finisher who actually turned a lap tonight, Michael Walls, finishing 44 laps down in 34th. Connor Zola was connected to the session, but did not turn a lap here tonight. Was disconnected before the session started. He technically is listed in 35th, but I'm not sure if that actually will show up or not. So and that rounds out our field.
With that being said, let's go ahead and bring in our first driver to interview. And you know what? I'm feeling a little generous today, Brad. I'll let you take the first interview here with Cody Graveris, third place finisher.
Hey Cody, this is Brett up in the JCTV booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Brett.
Had a strong run there today. Led a bunch of laps early. Took home the victory in stage 1, but kind of faded down the stretch, coming home third. What else do you think you needed here today to possibly get that victory?
Well, it really kind of started, I guess, when Luke kind of passed me. I don't know if they had a little team game going there, parking it on the apex at turn 10 or not, but either way, Luke and I were pretty similar pace, and I went for the overcut on him about 4 laps deeper. I thought taking the 1 fewer gallon of fuel would do it. Ran into 1 lap of lap car trouble, But I thought I could still pull it off, and I got down pit road awesome. Pit entry was perfect. Go in the box, and I realized that I still had tires checked, and that that was pretty much going to be the race right there because it was going to be an extra 4.5, 5 seconds compared to the fuel I was supposed to take. And then for the first 3 laps, I would just be super far off the pace with how cold the tires were. It just wasn't worth taking tires in this one. And then, of course, my second lap out, passing a lap car, I spun out on the exit of turn 7 there and lost ground to Aaron. Clawed my way back, had some really bad luck with some lap cars just being in bad spots. But, you know, that's how it goes when you're quick around here. It's tricky to pass, and it was the same thing in qualifying. You can't blame the lap cars. You just got to try to catch them in better spots.
Yeah, and that appeared to be a lot of the story of the race today was people having issues with lap cars and just not really lap cars' fault. It's just traffic on this road course.
It's a difficult track.
It's a really wide variation of speed. That battle on the last lap between you and Aaron Brown, walk us through, especially those last couple corners.
Oh, man. Well, let's take it to the last 2 laps because I finally had some clear track between Aaron and I with no lap cars in front of him that could get between us. And I really just turned the wick up, ran a 14.5 on the 2 to go. And then that last lap, man, I was flying. I was on 114.3, 114.2 pace. I thought I could get up there and nab fastest lap from Luke if it wasn't from needing to pass Aaron. Hit every corner basically perfect. No wheel spin, no wiggles, no nothing. Aaron ran a great lap too, looking at it. I was just hawking him. And then we got there out of turn 10, and Wes made a little mistake. Aaron made a little mistake, and it all kind of kicked off. Wes moved over to try to clear some space for us to go around him, and Aaron was trying to go inside of him, and I had to double check and go outside and just pray that the tire barriers wouldn't suck me in. And then, of course, you know, Aaron and I messed up just about right into each other and banged doors all the way to the line. Wanted second really bad. I feel like had I have not made any mental errors and not taken any tires during the pit stop, that I probably could have still competed with Luke for the win. But with the way the finish was, I'm not super upset. It was a lot of fun, and it's only a 4-point difference to second. So it's a great race, and I hope it was fun to watch on the broadcast.
Yeah, it was a good time. The third place finish here, setting yourself up well in the points. A lot of drivers in front of you in the points struggling today. How do you think this sets you up going forward as you look forward for the rest of the season trying to go for the championship?
You know, I think as we go down the stretch here, it's going to be pretty cut and dry. The championship's basically going to come down to the guys that are here, because I don't know if you guys have covered it on the broadcasts yet, but everybody that races at least 5 of the 9 regular season races get into the chase. Now, there are bonus points for where you finish in the season and whatnot to reward the guys that have done well, wins, stage wins, all that mess. But that being said, it's going to be the guys that can compete consistently. We have 2 road courses in the chase, so that bodes well for myself. Luke Peters is obviously really good everywhere we go. Aaron Brown's going to be good everywhere we go. And I kind of keep an eye on the guys that were strong here, because as we get into the playoffs with 2 road courses, that's really going to be a point separator, you know, with no cautions, and it kind of filters itself out rather than the bad luck that you can get on an oval with a wreck or whatnot. So I think it sets me up well. I was pretty happy with my performance. Just got to clean some things up for Chicago Street Circuit in a couple weeks.
And last but not least, anybody you want to thank tonight? Anybody who gets it done for you?
I just want to thank all the SAAC guys. This league has grown so much over the course of the years between the different games. 35 tonight, I believe, for Sonoma is beyond what I would have thought we would have had for this season. And then, of course, I want to thank Central Valley Environmental, the West Coast leader in abatement services, mold, lead, asbestos, and demo. Hit them up for all your abatement services. They sponsor all the races because they sign my paychecks. So, yeah, thanks to them, thanks to SAAC, and thanks to you guys for broadcasting tonight.
Yeah, no problem, and congrats on that 3rd place finish. And that is Cody Riveras, our 3rd place finisher here tonight. And Josh, I believe you're going to catch up with our 2nd place finisher, the number 7 of Aaron Brown.
Indeed I am, Aaron. What a race you had. You had a pace all race long, and then was able to capitalize on a mistake. Get up to 2nd, but that battle on the last lap, I mean, it was very, very close. Walk us through what happened in your eyes.
Battles. I don't know. Just I was trying to just keep my pace, keep decent pace. I knew Cody was faster the whole race. And then it came down to that last lap. I just made too many mistakes in those last few laps. His tires just slightly better than mine. Probably overheated mine after hard pushing. But yeah, and what I don't even know. But yeah, and then I don't know what happened with Micah there. Well, not Micah, sorry, Wes. I don't know if he blocked us. I don't even know. He intentionally blocked us or whatever. I don't even know what happened. I don't know. I don't know what he was doing there, but it messed us both up. And luckily, I messed up the hairpin less than Cody did.
So off of the hairpin, you both, I mean, it was a drag race. And then you still had to make it through the little kinks. Some consider turn 12. Some say there's no turn 12. But coming around there, you took it pretty wide as well. What was the thoughts? I mean, just right off of the hairpin, turn 11, getting to that start-finish line.
Don't wreck myself in the kink there, because I know that I needed to give him just enough room where he would, be able to make the corner, but I couldn't also just give him so little room that I would wreck myself. So I just made sure to just give him enough room that he wouldn't be able to gain it as any time at all, and that was about it.
All right, first road course of the season is complete. We have a few more coming up soon, including a couple in the playoffs. So with the second place finish here tonight, is this going to help, gain momentum for what's to come?
Oh yeah, for sure. I had 2 bad races to start. I had 2 really bad races to start there, I was hoping to, I know Sonoma, no really cautions, as long as I don't mess up my qualifying like I've done before here. I know it's all on me. Nothing's really, if I make a mistake, it's on me. There's nothing else that really can go wrong for me. So that's what I kept telling myself, and I was confident coming into the road course, just to finish the top of the people who paid money. So I just want to, get that. But and I did. So I'll take it. And so I did what I wanted to do, and hopefully next week, I don't know what's next week. Hopefully I do the same thing.
All right, before we let you go, sponsors, shout outs, who gets it done for you?
I got to thank my teammates, Malachi Drake, Cody Webster. I mean, well, Cody didn't run a lot of this race. Malachi helped me through the lap traffic, gave me extra room. Same with Eric Heater, and then Luke Peters also. Well, I know he's better than me here, but he was helping me, trying to give me tips, trying to get me faster, and it helped. So yeah.
All right, well, congrats on the win, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
That was Aaron Brown, your second place finisher. And we go down to victory lane, maybe?
I don't think we have a race winner, unfortunately, Luke Peters, so might be able to get that victory lane interview here tonight and a few words. But I think he let his driving on track do the talking here tonight. A dominant performance for that 50 machine. Just not once he got to that lead, just as I said, Cody Barris made a little bit of mistake on pit road and cost himself, and maybe if he had not taken tires, he might have been able to be up there with Peters, but still would have been a tall order, and really a great run tonight for that 50 machine.
Let's see if we can get Luke Peters. I did just ping him in Discord. So while we're waiting, see if he actually does make it in here. Brett, keep an eye on that for me. I'm going to pop up the schedule. So you see here, round 3, Sonoma Raceway. We do have Darlington coming up next week. Atlanta, Martinsville, Chicago Street Course, Indianapolis, and that is the oval. Charlotte, And that's going to finish out the regular season. Road America, Michigan, Dover, Indy Road Course, Las Vegas, and Phoenix. There's actually 3 more road courses to go. Chicago Street Course, Road America, Indy Road Course. I think.
And I mentioned those road courses. I believe all 3 road courses remaining on the schedule will be making their JCTV debuts in this league. I don't believe we've seen any races at any of those 3 tracks previously on here. All 3 really fun tracks. Chicago Street Circuit, a little bit chaotic and tight. Road America, a long, technical, but really fun road course out in Wisconsin. And then Indy Road Course, it's Indianapolis, but for road course. So it's fun to see what happens as we move forward here towards the rest of the season. Next week at Darlington, always a good show at Darlington. The racing there, always a lot of fun. It'll be fun to see whether we can go, what kind of racing we get there in the next gen car. You tend to see a lot of different, probably the most technical track on this service. So we'll see. Luke Peters is going to try to be strong again next week and try to keep it going, as I believe he has taken the points lead.
I'm still not seeing Luke Peters at all. So we might not get to talk to him. But, yeah, going back to what you were talking about, I think those are really good road course selections. Chicago Street Course, I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure about it at first. I really liked it, and I'm kind of excited to see what these guys can do in sim there. So I'm looking forward to that one. Road America is absolutely has always been one of my favorite road courses that just in general. Not even necessarily a road course that NASCAR goes to. I was so happy when the Cup Series went there. A little sad that they don't go there anymore, but I love that track. It is by far my favorite non-NASCAR track. And then it's cool to see the Indy Road Course and the Indy Oval on the schedule as well. I've been wanting to see an Indy Oval race for quite a while, so pretty cool to see that on the schedule. And then, of course, the road course as well later on in the season. And one last check here to see if we do have Peters.
I'm not seeing him, but
so we'll go ahead and wrap things up. And next week, if we're able to get a hold of him pre-race, we'll do so. So that's gonna do it from us at Sonoma. We did mention we've got Darlington coming up next week. That's always a fun track to watch. Not necessarily to drive, so kind of glad I'll be in the booth for that one, Brett. But looking forward to that one. And you mentioned it earlier as well, Brett. We've got plenty of action coming up. What is tonight? Thursday. So Saturday night we've got Blazer Sim Racing in the Prestige Truck Series at Bristol. It is. Yeah, we'll both be racing in that one. You are still in the playoffs and trying.
Yeah, still on a lifeline in the playoffs after I got wrecked at Pocono, but we'll go in there. I've been fast. I was fast in C-Fixed last week at Bristol on the same setup. Hopefully should have speed. I just know that setup is very loose, and I am a little concerned about what will occur with a full field of loose trucks. But hopefully it'll go well. Hopefully we'll have a good race. And then next Tuesday we go to Chicagoland for the regular season finale of the Slide Job Racing League, and I'll try to make the playoffs there. So a lot of good action coming up here on JCTV.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to miss it. We've got pretty interesting drama-filled races coming up for race continuing in the playoffs for one series and another finishing up the regular season and heading into the playoffs. So Darlington next week for the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series. That should be a lot of fun watching these guys take on the Lady in Black track. Too tough to tame. It's going to do it from us here at JCTV. Thank you guys for tuning in, as always. And, check us out. If you aren't used to watching any other races, check us out on Saturday night at 7:45 p.m. Eastern, and Tuesday night at 8:45 p.m. Eastern for the Independent News Truck Series and Slide Job Racing League. Big thanks to everybody involved in helping us do what we do. Thanks to Brett Bennett, as always, for being in the booth tonight. And on behalf of Brett, I'm Joshua Coppernell signing off, saying so long. We'll see you next time. Take care.
It's all I can afford right now. When it struggles to start, no, it won't turn over. But he was laughing when I signed the deal. The distance between point A and the end of the day, it feels like forever. Well, maybe I'm just asleep at the wheel, running on empty. Gas ain't cheap. Can't change the tail light. There's something I can do for me. Oh, I'm fixing that damn wiper blade, and I'm bleeding this late today. I'm fixing that damn wiper blade, and I'm seeing my way through the pain. I'm not mechanically inclined to know that I've got a flat while it drags to the shoulder. It's hard enough to keep my eyes on the road, and not sure if the gear's gonna hold. It's starting to smoke, but I can't pull over. Left foot on the gas and I'm almost home, running on empty. Caffeine drains. Can't change the station, but there's something I can do for me. Oh, I'm fixing that damn wiper blade, and I'm bleeding this late today. I'm fixing that damn wiper blade, and I'm seeing my way through the pain. I'll do it myself, don't need no one else. Sick and tired of always asking for help. I'm fixing that damn wiper blade, and I'm bleeding my soul up the rain. I'm fixing that damn wiper blade, and I'm cleaning the slate today.